adjunct professor at Montclair State University, as well as the author of Dogs Taught Me Everything I Know About Business, Dan Geltrude. Dan, okay, so while we didn't see all indexes go up, it's certainly a welcoming sign after seeing much of the market has taken a hit because of the tariffs. Futures are mixed this morning, but overall, I think people are pretty happy with where we're trending right now.
Well, that's what it's about. It's about the trend. Look, we saw the market in very, very choppy waters. That was related to the tariffs. That type of news is going to continue for a while, and that creates uncertainty. So the market it needs to get used to what's happening. Really, not that much has changed. But the emotions related to where these tariffs are going to go, that had an impact. But hopefully now, cooler heads are prevailing, and we'll start to see some positive traction in the market.
Yeah, you as well as Seth Denson, every time we have this segment on, you guys always say, just calm down. It's going to be fine. Don't get emotional about the economy right now. But on top of that inflation data, we've really been seeing those egg and gas prices start to sink. Do you think we see that trend continue?
I think, well, I should say, I hope we're going to, right? To me, the cooling of inflation wasn't a lot, but it's about the direction. Kind of like you get on the scale, you lose a pound. It's not that much, but it's direction. You're going in the right direction. So I think we're seeing the same thing here. Remember, inflation starts to cool, then we could see some relief from the Federal Reserve in interest rates, and that's when we can really get the economy moving in the right direction, as well as the stock market.
Yeah, things are definitely moving in the right direction. It's a positive sign all the way around. But let's go back to those tariffs. So in response to the recent tariffs on steel and aluminum, Canada, once again, trying to get tough with the United States, promising $21 billion in reciprocal levies on American products. Okay, so Dan, obviously earlier this week, we saw Ontario, Doug Ford threaten tariffs on electricity for 1.5 million Americans. Trump came out. He said, okay, you know what? We'll come back. We'll put a reciprocal tariff on that. Within 4 hours, Doug Ford pulled back on those tariffs, once again proving that Trump was ahead the entire time. How do you think that President Trump responds to Canada's latest threat?
Well, if any of these foreign countries are listening, I'm going to give you a tip here related to President Trump. The way to get things done is not to go tit for tat, threats back and forth. The way to get things done is call the White House and say, you want to make a deal. That is music to his ears. He's a deal maker. He's looking to get something fair. That's the way to approach it. The United States will win the war of attrition related to trade. So don't go down that path. It's just easier to make a deal. Then it's behind us, and we all move forward.
I mean, it's kind of like, I don't know, that President Trump kind of knows what he's doing here in the business world. I've been saying it all along when it comes to these tariffs. And again, that perfect example with Doug Ford, it shows exactly how Trump is levying these tariffs against Canada. But let's talk a little Southwest. So the airline is going to, it used to take 0 fees for their baggage. Not anymore. The carrier now says you'll have to pay for those bags just like every other airline. Just last month, they actually cut 15% of their workforce. And now this, I don't know. Are things going downhill for Southwest, Dan?
Well, I don't know about downhill, but certainly they're looking to increase their revenue stream. Now, this is just another reason of why so many people dislike the airlines, right? You get charged for every little thing. Southwest kind of gave you that benefit. So, hey, this is a great thing. But now that being taken away, it just makes people angry, if you ask me. So will it work? I guess in time people will have to accept it, Alex, but it's not something we like. And Southwest, I guess, feels they need to do this.
Dan, I just have such a bone to pick with these airlines. Delta used to be $25 for a checked bag. Now it's $35. And then if you go over 50 pounds, it's an extra $100. Then I was booking a flight the other day to go home to Georgia to be able to choose my seat. I had to pay an extra $50. I mean, these airlines, my goodness, you have to pay for every single thing. Dan Geltrude, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Such a pleasure having you on.
Thanks, Alex.